Hello and welcome back to our fourth video on design. Now, if you look at the marking criteria which every school has got, you will see the first item asks about the project clearly designed, researched and planned. This is a big thing for the judges and you need to get this right if you want to win the competition. Now, some students may want to start by coding and then maybe do some paperwork afterwards. Now, this will make things quicker and easier for one person, but when there's a group of you working together, you need to share ideas and share information to make sure all your program works together. You also need to develop and share the same idea. For a real life example, GTA 5, a huge game with huge budgets, had over 1,000 developers working on it. How did all these developers work on exactly the same thing together? Well, they had huge amounts of design documentation, information and standards that they all had to work to. So it's always best to design things properly. Now, your documentation, if you have the following headings, the judges will start to become happier. Concept is when you talk about what you are trying to do. Research is where you look at how other people have solved similar problems. And again, for that one, you want lots and lots of screenshots with explanations. Logic explains how your program is going to work and what the steps are to move information around. And aims are what you're going to succeed by, but we'll talk more about those later. Now, to show the logic stage of the program, the simplest way to do this is to use a flowchart. These are the official British flowchart symbols, at least according to BBC Bitesize, and you can use these instructions to map out logical processes and designs for anything. Just quickly, you start and stop with these nice purple start and end buttons at the end. The process tells you a step you do. Input and output here are rounded rectangles, although I've seen them being parallelograms as well. A decision is a simple yes/no question in a diamond shape. Please note, guys, the colours here are totally irrelevant. Don't worry about the colours at all. It's the basic shape and principle we need to get around to ourselves. So, let's take an example of this. This is how to make a glass of squash. So, we have inputs, we have outputs, we have steps, and we have decisions. So, start symbol, so start. Get a glass, which is a good idea if you're going to make a drink. Add squash, okay, fair enough. And please note, guys, that's a rounded rectangle. That's an input sign in this one. So if that's there, you need to input. Add water. Okay, bring more inputs in from outside. Is the glass full? Question mark. Yes, while you drink the squash. No, add water again. Is the glass full? No, add more water. If it's full, drink squash and then end. Okay, so that is a simple flowchart, which is a good demonstration, I think. For a more practical demonstration, here's something I'm fairly sure of saying you've all done. This is how we wake up in the morning. So you're lying in bed asleep. There's something, an external input comes in. The alarm clock sounds beep, 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 which is seriously annoying, I know. So you think to yourself, am I awake? If you think, yes, I am, then get up and face the day. If not, you hit the snooze button, don't you? And then you sleep for another 5 minutes until the alarm clock sounds again. Then beep, 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 beep. Am I awake? Oh, no. Okay, sleep. And then beep, 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 beep. Anyway, you get the idea. But guys, this is how a basic flowchart symbols. I have taken the basic steps and showed how they're all going to work together. If you want to make a flowchart on a computer, sometimes it's difficult, but I recommend trying it with this website, draw.io, which is free to use and is brilliant for making flowcharts. So now, the next step for your group is to start making flowcharts to explain to the judges and to yourselves the logic of your programs and the steps your data or information will have to go through. So, we've now talked about concept, research, logic. The last section is aims, and these are not that big or complicated, but they are exceedingly important. Now, the aims will simply say what the program has to achieve for it to be considered a success. So here, my Hairy Santa's project. I have said my program will be a success if it can track Santa's pace, track reindeer exhaustion, track presents, and have a delivery countdown. So those 4 things have to be there and working for this project to work properly. It's worth spending a bit of time doing these guys, as you're going to find in the testing section, which is going to be coming up, these are extremely important. So, thank you very much for watching. In fact, we're not finished yet, are we? But now, it's time to start coding. So, once your design work is finished, you now need to work together and start coding. But don't forget, when you are coding, you're going to want to take lots of screenshots and explain at all stages what you're doing. This will allow other judges to see how the project is developed and to see how you worked through it. So, I'm going to leave you, as always, with a few things to think about. So, thank you, goodbye, and good luck.